And Gustafson in to throw a hit along the sideboard. The puck played to center ice. Back for New Jersey comes Brendan Shanahan. He cranks up a hard drive, and Malarchuk gets his arm on that. Anders Carlson in the lineup tonight for the New Jersey Devils. Plays to the corner. Now Maley is rubbed out by Kevin Hatcher. Out to center ice, and Larry Murphy. Jeff Greenlaw out there, and he's tied up right at the blue line. Nearly had his helmet removed by Wolanin. Into the corner goes Peter Sundstrom.
Kick out the right pads. Trying to get it to Lou Franceschetti.
Hunter from the draw throws it to the corner. Hatcher goes back to get it. He knocks into Muller. Steal. The Devils caught in a line change. Gartner to the blue line. Gets inside the New Jersey zone, and Danico runs him into the sideboard.
Change the 2-goal lead. And now here we've got it right going from before the faceoff. Greg Adams. And I don't know who that is for New Jersey, but before the puck was even dropped, Adams and Maley were going at it.
Claude Larcel. The time of the goal, 57 seconds.
So Adams and Maley will both be taken to the penalty boxes now, and this as well will come at 57 seconds of the second period. In the period now, here's Wolanin going at it with Jeff Greenlaw as they tie up just inside the blue line, and another fight starts. It's going to be Brendan Shanahan and Greg Smith at the other end of the ice. The linesmen are occupied with Greenlaw, and now Shanahan and Smith are being stood apart by the referee, Dennis Morrell. And we have a very vigorous start to this second period. Wolanin and Greenlaw both head to the penalty box.
Jim Schoenfeld yelling over something to the New Jersey bench. You want to get something started? We're ready. Brian Murray saying the same thing. And on the Jim Schoenfeld is without his captain right now. Kirk Muller, who we understand has injured his arm and has got ice on it. We do not know if he will return to the game. You want to play hockey? You want to fight? It's a decision for both coaches. Brendan Shanahan and Greg Smith get penalties for deliberate attempts to injure. Those are match penalties. Out of the game are those two players.
I would suspect they both tried to spear one another. So that has kicked them out of the game. Normally it would provide for a 5-minute power play, but since each side got it, the penalties wipe one another out. A minute 10 seconds, the time of it all. Now here's another penalty coming. Lou Franceschetti and Pat Verbeek go to the corner, and Verbeek's already got his gloves off. Franceschetti was not involved until linesman Wayne Bonney pulled him away, and then Franceschetti dropped his gloves. We'll see what comes out of this. There was already going to be a penalty call from Dennis Morrell. Now Franceschetti is being ordered to the box as well.
McLean also had his gloves off. And
now at 1:32, here comes two more.
Right at the center of your screen, Franceschetti and McLean. Lou Franceschetti comes up with the elbow, and that's what's got McLean's attention.
Drive it in. It's cleared outside the line. Hatcher brings it across. That's offside. Now Hunter throws a punch at Sundstrom and goes after him.
So chronologically young, have been in the league for a while, and really kind of old veterans in that regard with 5-6 years experience in some cases.
Sticks are high in the corner. Scott Stevens has got something going in there with Verbeek.
Now Verbeek restrained by linesman Sweetnox in an attempt to get at Scott Stevens. You know, you talk to some of the players after that second game. They said they think everything's out of the way now, that it's going to get back down to hockey. I didn't buy that for a minute. I didn't know if it was going to get as chippy as it's been tonight and as it was in game 2.
To swing at the rebound up high. That's into the sideboard. Loiselle is crunched on the play by Gustafson. Here's a shot right on. Burke the save. Hunter goes for the rebound, and Sorella tries to take out Dale Hunter in the aftermath. Here comes Carlson down the left wing. Hit by Stevens and now leveled by a check from Lou Francischetti.
Sorella now having words. We'll see it here. Yeah, he's got the elbow up there. That should have been 2 minutes for elbowing from Francischetti.
You think so?
I thought he led with the elbow.
A third of the playoffs all told, I should say, not only just against the Capitals, but against the Islanders. And Danico gets the assist at 15:33. Now we've got a full-fledged fight that's going to go here between Belichick and Adams. And Swede Knox doing a pretty good job right now of just holding them apart. Both players had dropped their gloves. And Ridley over to Hunter, walks in, fires, Burke the save. Hunter being held in the goal mouth by Danico, and the Devils come out.
Scramble in front, and you see Dale Hunter right in the middle of everything. Burke hooks him down, Danico keeps him down, and Burke gives him one final shove to the ice.
Here's Belichick. Thrown off the backboard. Now we've got a man down right in front of the Washington bench. It's David Maley, who's rolling around, writhing in pain. And in the corner, Danico decides to take on Hatcher. And Hatcher starts to uncork some right hand. In close. Hatcher making Danico pay a price, but look out, here comes Maley. Maley's up now and seems to be all right, and he goes right in after Hatcher. And now it's going to be Hatcher and Maley, and the linesman Swede Knox, or Wayne Bonney, makes a smart move to get out of the way of that. Scott Stevens is involved. Mike Gartner trying to hold off Pat Verbeek, who's as well trying to get into the fray. First it was Danico with Hatcher, and then Maley came on and tries to grab Hatcher, and then Stevens jumped in, and he tries to even it up, and now Gartner has a grip on Verbeek, who's getting a little too close for the Capitals' comfort. Jim Schoenfeld moves down to his end of the bench for a better look at all this, next to assistant coach Bob Hoffmeyer. Remember when this was a friendly rivalry?
Here's Scott Stevens right in front of the New Jersey bench.
Who's he talking to? Schoenfeld? Looks like Schoenfeld's the man that he's taunting right now. When Doug Carpenter coached this team, he and Brian Murray had a rivalry that went back to junior hockey. And now Stevens is pretty well smothered in there by Maley.
Oh, now look at Maley like he's actually showing Hatcher some concern. Threw him down to the ice, Hatcher hits his head, and now David Maley pretends like he cares.
Stevens has been put in the penalty box, so has Danico. And I'm sure many more are going to follow here.
Now Maley signaling over at Scott Stevens, and Scott Stevens opens the penalty box door and says, come on over to me.
Stevens did not leave the penalty box. Therefore, no further penalty, such as a game misconduct, for a fight that would take place off the ice could be given. But it was a pretty lame attempt by the off-ice officials there to try and grab Stevens by the sweater and hold him in. They should have kept that door shut.
Not exactly a clean play by Hatcher, but not as bad as a lot that we've seen tonight. There is Danico. There comes Maley coming in. They're not, how this guy isn't the third man in the fight, I don't know. I mean, David Maley, to me, has got to be out of this hockey game. Came back in.
Here we go. We're underway again. Belichick to the corner, and he's bumped hard by Ledyard. Now Murphy into the corner, and Belichick takes a run at Larry Murphy. Only glances off him. Here comes Pavonka.
Patrick Sundstrom continues to be on the move. Ledyard can't slow him up, and watch Sundstrom. You think you've got him forced to the wing, throws that little backhander. Malarchuk not even ready for it, and pops it right between the pads of Malarchuk. Sundstrom has been magnificent, as has Mark Johnson, and the Devils continue to rub the Capitals' face in it, 10-4.
Now, you talked about a message earlier, and I think that's very definitely what the message is right now, just that they are rubbing their faces into it. And that's what the Capitals are going to have to respond to on Sunday night.
Jeff Greenlaw got involved in something. It looks like Gary Galley in the middle of it with a New Jersey Devil yet to be identified.
Third goal of the night.
Now Larry Murphy exchanging shoves with Craig Wolannon through a pile. Greenlaw has got himself hooked up with another New Jersey Devil. This looks like it's Danico.
Sundstrom gets his 6th of the playoffs and his 3rd of the night. Danico gets the assist at 14-14. I couldn't hear if they'd given another assist or not on the Sundstrom goal, but the Devils are racking up plenty of points tonight, believe me. So 2 hat tricks in this game already. Mark Johnson, who has 4 goals in the contest, and now Sundstrom also gets a hat trick as the Devils lead the Capitals 10-4 in Game 3 of this Patrick Division final round. Really, there aren't many players left that you think about when you start to think about the scuffling and the fighting. Scott Stevens has been removed from the game from the Capitals. So is Dale Hunter.
Now Greenlaw and Danico.
Maley's out of the game for New Jersey.
Greenlaw keeps saying, if you want to fight, I will. This is all right in front of Dennis Morrell. You can imagine these two are history. Larry Murphy now being escorted to the Capitals dressing room. Galley had been sent into the box, so Mike, as far as I can determine, that means Grant Ledyard is the lone remaining Capitals defenseman.
We've always talked about Dave Christian possibly filling that role someday if need be, and this might be the opportunity to put him back on the blue line with only 5:39 to play. We saw Gustafsson there earlier. Malarchuk bumped by Mark Johnson. Now we've got a penalty call coming up, a delayed call. Or was it the other way around? They're saying that Malarchuk bumped Johnson.
Prevented Johnson from going behind the net after Gustafsson and interfered with him. So Malarchuk, the goaltenders, finally get in the penalty parade. Here comes Mark Johnson, and there's Clint Malarchuk riding him off to prevent him to get at Gustafsson. Dennis Morrell stays consistent, keeps the calls coming.
At Verbeek.
Watch the shot he gives Verbeek. Verbeek standing, and he's the guy who sends Verbeek into Malarchuk. Malarchuk reacting to being run by Verbeek, but it's because Gary Galley nailed him from behind. It was Galley who initiated the contact on Verbeek and sent him into Malarchuk.
So now Galley and Verbeek have both been excused from the game. The shots on goal in the 3rd period, and there were not many of them. For New Jersey, they had 9, a game total of 31.